Mhm.
Rolling in 5, 4, 3.
Yo, yo. What's up, man?
Was Gucci.
I can't believe it. It's already episode 2. It's like I just thought about doing something like this, and now it's already filming the second episode. Like, what?
Thanks for
That's
having me.
crazy.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
I'm glad to have you here, man. I'll let you introduce yourself, though.
So, I go by the name of Vhee Riv. I'm from Hawaii.
Why?
Born in Delaware, though, but raised in Hawaii.
I didn't know that.
You know? Learn
Okay.
something new every day.
Okay. So how long were you in Hawaii for?
How long I was in Hawaii? Since I was about 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you moved out to Vegas?
That's a good question. I think I was like 21, 22.
And how old are you now? It's like
26.
Yay. Oh, hey, me too.
26.
Me too. Now we're talking ages here. No,
I'm learning. I didn't even know you were 26.
yeah. I feel like we've always been on the same wavelength
Yeah.
anyways. Yeah, but I mean, like I was going back to it, it's crazy. It's already episode 2. And I was explaining to you even before that, I wanted this to be, a platform for artists alike, such as yourself, such as I,
Right.
to be able to like talk and like, if you have, knowledge on other things. I feel like our fixed audience is just so used to seeing us in one way.
Yep.
Whether it's, listening to your music, watching a visual, like on a music video for
Right.
you, watching me dance, watching me move, watching me do some flips. But, there's more to it.
They want to see deeper.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. There's more to it. And I just felt like, you would be a perfect guest to bring in because I see like once in a while on Instagram when I have the chance to like check out stories, I see your stories and I'm like,
Yeah, I'll be
yeah,
going
you know
off.
I'm like, exactly.
Be
But I'm
going
saying
off.
like you have a lot to say, so
Yeah.
which is awesome, and that's why I want to give that platform, and
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good move.
so I wanted to say, first of all, how did we meet?
How did we meet?
Yeah, you remember
Okay,
that?
so I met your friend Shauna first, your dancer friend.
Right.
I met her at one of the Tuesday blends at the Hard Rock. I seen her dancing. I was really there just trying to network and see, because I was new to the city, so I was like, let me try and find some dancers, because
Uh-huh.
I need some backup dancers for my performance,
Ye-
because I was going to do a Tuesday blend. So I seen Shauna dancing, so I just walked up to her. I was like, you're actually pretty good. Are you a dancer? Like, and she was
you already
like,
knew.
Right. She was like, yeah, I actually am. And I was like, okay, I'm looking for some dancers. I'm here networking tonight. And then she was like, okay, well, we exchanged numbers and everything. And then we went from there. And she introduced me to you guys.
Yeah.
And that's how we got started.
Dude, I remember that. And then it was such a process too. I remember, I think the first rehearsal that we had already made up a routine
Yeah.
to your song.
Hold it, watch out.
Yeah, and then it was a mixture because there was like 3 other songs, right?
Yeah.
You
Put
remember
me
them
on 'cause
exactly?
I'm you went off on Put Me On.
Yeah.
You went off on that one. Yeah.
Oh man. So there was like 4 tracks.
4 tracks.
Right. It was a whole like set.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It
I
was
mean,
about 4 or 5.
4 or 5
About
minutes.
20 minutes. 20, was it 20 minutes?
It was something like that because you
Yeah.
had your own like.
I had to talk too, so yeah, it was
Yeah.
a bunch of different.
I remember that. It was a good venue too. Like,
Yeah, it was
How
great.
did you feel? So how did you feel?
The vinyl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like being there, and that was. What was it your first time performing with dancers
In Vegas.
in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally in Hawaii always have like backup dancers.
Yeah.
All my shows. I try to put on that full on entertainment. I don't want to just be up on the stage just by
Right.
myself.
Just on the mic.
Everybody
Yeah,
does
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I want to be an entertainer, not like just a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, you
So,
want to be
yeah.
a entertainer, performer. And
Yeah.
I like that you use that word because that really
Yeah.
it goes in like a lot of different elements.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you have your material, you have your craft, you have your lyrics. Then you
like
get your
Junction.
yeah, exactly.
We want to do everything, all the avenues.
See that?
She.
Yeah, and then so you have so many elements to it, like your flow, your lyrics, like how you kind of present yourself because as artists alike, it's similar, like between say dancer and rapper, artist,
Right.
singer.
I don't
But
like
it's
to
also
be one
different.
lane.
Yeah, but it's also different. But
Yeah.
then we always try to venture off of, like we go first how we're known, like rapper,
Right.
and then you want to go into different fields and different. You want to expand yourself,
Yeah,
pretty much,
I
right?
don't like to keep myself in a box. So I'm like, whenever someone says, "Oh, she's a rapper," I'm like, I'm an artist,
You're an artist.
entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, all of the above. I don't like to just be closed.
So you always see yourself, kind of leveling up.
Yeah.
And always working.
Eventually
Yeah.
acting too.
Acting.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah.
I want to do it all.
Yeah. I agree. Me too.
Yeah. I think you'd be good.
You think so?
Yeah,
You think so?
yeah. I think so. You'd be good.
Oh man. So, again, so working with dancers, I got a chance to work with you.
Right.
On
My
your
first
music
show.
video.
Yeah, man.
Your
My
show.
first show.
The show first, yes, and then
And the
into
reset
music
video.
video.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was great.
There were so many times like we got to session, and I felt like we were meeting up at least 1 or 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for maybe about what do you say, like 4 hours, maybe roughly 3-4
Yeah.
hours, because some of that would come with like
Talking.
chit chat.
Yeah.
Exactly, we would talk for however long, deep conversations and
Yeah.
everything. So, and then we would practice the routine.
Yeah.
But then we would start freestyling, and that was something that I was really new to as well. So it was something that we both got to work on, and I just remember seeing from the very first time we met in 2018 till then to that music video.
Right.
By the way, the music video's on YouTube.
Yes. It's called Reset.
Yeah,
VHEERIV-reset.
you'll see us in action. You'll see all the hard work that we put in.
Yeah, that's probably one of my best videos, I think.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, V put in a lot of work. So you said that your idol was, I remember Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, he's a full-on entertainer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly. And
Yeah.
didn't he start off as a dancer?
Yeah, he started
first?
off as a dancer and then music and then acting. So
Yeah.
He does it all, yeah. Rapping too. He's a
too.
lot better than a lot of these rappers out here
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
See, I like that. See,
Yeah.
I like to get those perspectives because I'm
Yeah.
not in the game myself.
Right.
So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, that's why I look up to him. So
Yeah.
he's my idol. Yeah.
So who else?
And
are you?
fashion. I'm all about my fashion.
Yeah,
so.
talk about your Odd Future top. Like, I mean, I was complimenting
Man.
you as soon as I saw it.
It got a donut on the back.
That's how you know it's Odd Future. That's how you know.
I was like, the purple lights got to match with
That's my
the
favorite
top.
color.
Yeah. Purple?
Yep.
That's different.
Yeah, see. And I kind of incorporate it, like even with the logo here. I just like little touches and stuff
Yeah, that's dope.
with the lights and everything.
I
A little
love
purple.
it. I love it.
Yeah. So, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Who else?
I like Michael Jackson. My dad got me into Michael
Michael
Jackson
Jackson.
as a kid, so
Michael Jackson.
that's how I started getting into music. My
Yeah.
dad introduced me to because he's heavy in like Motown, stylistics. He's like a singer. He sings too, but it's like a hobby for him.
Yeah.
It's actually my career,
Yeah.
So I give it shout out to my dad.
Shout out Pops.
Shout out Pops.
So-
He started it.
So you would say that that's where, you start to get inspired.
Yeah.
First.
It started with
Yeah.
Motown, Michael Jackson, and then grew up and it's Chris Brown, kind of staying in that same
Yeah.
caliber.
So when did you see yourself to start to take it a little bit more serious and?
Probably I would just fool around, dance and stuff.
Yeah.
But probably maybe 11, 12.
Yeah.
And I started writing my own stuff down,
Wow.
making my own music.
See, I just imagine that being kind of like it's a creative process,
Yeah,
obviously.
it is.
And I think of it how it is to like dancing or something, like making a choreography or something, or just
I think
maybe
it's
like
sort of similar.
it's similar,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I was talking about. Like we're similar as artists, but it's still kind of different. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So like you would tell me however you make your process
Right.
of making lyrics, finding your flow.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow, damn, I couldn't do that.
Right.
And then
That's why I'm like,
vice
how do
versa.
you even start to do
Vice-
moves or like
Right,
yeah.
but see, it's still kind of connected in a way that
Yeah.
it's still
I think it's like the same format, but
Yeah.
just different. Yeah.
yeah. So okay, we talked about artists that you've been inspired by. You've talked about artists that you've worked with in here, like some of the dancers, part of the dance community and stuff. So, have you collaborated with any artists here or worked
Artists
with anybody?
here? Well, okay. So
Yeah, how was it here? Like, how was that? like community because dancers have
Vegas?
their own. Yeah, like dancers
Right.
have their own community, or just like even outside, like it could be Vegas or like expanded out. But like,
Right.
we all have our own communities. But
One of my biggest collaborations is with Mike Jones. OG. Who? Mike Jones. Shout out to Mike.
who don't know Mike Jones?
I was just talking to him the other day too. We're trying to put something together.
I
So
saw that announcement.
stay tuned.
Woo.
Stay tuned.
I'm excited for that.
But yeah, that's one of my biggest music collabs. That's still one of my biggest singles too. Hold up, watch out. The video's on YouTube. Go check it out.
Yeah, you got to check all these videos out.
Yes, I got so much
There's
videos.
so much
man.
footage. so much footage. So much music too.
Yeah, so much music.
Yeah. So Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. I also worked with Lucas Coley. He's out here.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys know who that is, but shout outs to Lucas Coley as well.
I know who that is now.
Yeah. Vhee, he's from, I think he's from Michigan. He's pretty big too.
Okay.
Vhee. Campaign Vhee. Shout out to Campaign. Got a song with him too. It's on YouTube. The video is called My Team. Check it out.
Was it like Detroit?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been
Listen
around. My Sean as well. He's from ATL, Atlanta. He's also an actor. He was on Lincoln Heights. I don't know if you guys,
Is
if
that
you
on
see
Hulu?
him, you'll know who he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see him.
He's on my lifestyle track, which is out on all platforms as well.
see
We
this?
shot the video, but we didn't release it. So, but the song's still out, so go check it out.
Let's check out the song. The audio's still there.
Yeah.
See, just lots of footage. That's what I'm saying. Like
Got a lot of
you
work.
stay working.
Gotta stay busy.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna try to go off of is like staying busy within this year. And a lot of people would love to know, how different artists, and different people, how do they stay inspired
How do I stay
throughout
busy?
this year? How do you stay busy? How do you stay inspired?
Really, just life. To be honest, life is like my inspiration because all my experiences and what I go through kind of inspires me to write. It's like an outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I can't talk to anybody, I'm on my pen and paper, on my phone, putting together my lyrics. Then just put it out into the world. Put it out into the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it.
Nice.
That's how I stay inspired. Life.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I mean, life happens.
Yeah.
25/8.
Yep. For real.
All the time.
Facts.
And I see you're a night owl. Like
I am.
You're up when I'm up. Like I could be working at the hospital and you're posting on your story 2
Right.
minutes before me or after
I
me.
feel like
I'm
you never sleep
"What?"
either, though.
I know, and a lot of the sad thing is a lot of people say that. And they're like, when do you sleep,
When do you
man?
sleep?
They're like, they see me at the hospital working on my story, and then next thing they know, I'm at like a 10 a.m. rehearsal.
Right.
And they're like, yo, and then I'm teaching a class at 2, and then I'm at the gym or something like that, and they're like, when do you sleep, dude?
People are like that with me too. I'm like,
Yeah, right?
what is sleep?
Right, exactly. And like I feel like the thing about like being a night owl is that your schedule is constantly changing, like just depending on like what you're doing that day.
Right.
Like if you're doing something during the day that calls for like a 10 a.m., 11 a.m., or maybe in the afternoon, then you got to like kind of reset your schedule
Right.
to that.
Gotta reset.
Exactly.
Gotta reset.
But then like during a day schedule, you can kind of consistently still be like that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And maybe kind of pick and choose
Yeah,
when you
me
go
and you
out.
are on the same.
Yeah, but
schedules.
we're on this like night
Yeah.
schedule.
It's like a 24-hour grind
Yeah.
schedule, really. But
I wonder, what you think about that? Like if that's like the key.
it is.
Like you know what I mean? Like you
Gotta
see how
sacrifice
like
something. Your time.
right? You see
Yeah,
like the
your sleep.
hustle. You see the hustle, and then like just kind of like what we're running through and what we were talking about. Your
Yeah.
body is always just maybe not like on a consistent like 24/7 grind because there's rest periods
Yeah,
that we
there's
need to
rest,
kind of just
definitely.
shut down
Yep.
for a couple hours. Maybe a cat nap here and there. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
of course, like the maintenance for the body. But besides that, I mean, it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
we're both doing it.
Yeah. That's how you get out there.
Right?
That's how you make things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been like checking out more of like health and fitness stuff like on YouTube and YouTube, fine.
Yeah.
You're checking it out on the internet. It must be real.
Right.
No,
right,
but I
right.
mean like I've been following like The Rock or something like they're kind of like their schedules and like how they function, like when they wake up, when they do this, when do they do that, and he gets up pretty early. Like, he gets up at like 4:30 in the
He's like
morning.
a morning bird. Yeah.
Yeah, and 4:30 in the morning, and then he does like
Workout.
yeah, he works out. He does the
Mhm.
caffeine on an empty stomach, works out, and this is like a daily thing for him, daily routine. You know what I mean? And so, I feel like we just kind of got accustomed to that.
Yeah. Facts.
You know, and then just kind of grind, just hustle. You know,
Keep it flowing.
it all-
Consistency.
exactly.
Consistency is key.
Speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Definitely.
Consistency and the difference is just doing it.
And
you know what I
actions,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's the actions.
A lot of people talk.
Right.
How many people
Right,
do?
right,
right.
Yeah. I say the same thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like it starts with you, obviously, with the man in the mirror,
Facts.
right? It starts with the person,
Exactly.
and then you execute the idea. I mean,
Focus as well. You gotta.
yeah,
It's hard to stay focused nowadays, but I feel like that's a key, component you need to have. Focus, consistency, actions. Those three things.
yeah. And how do you see yourself doing all three of those things all the time? You know, on a consistent basis.
It's hard. Sometimes I slip up, but as
Yeah.
anybody slips up. But I
Right.
feel like I'm pretty much on it. Continue to drop music. It's just all planning. You gotta plan things out too. You can't just, do things without thinking about what you're doing. Planned
Yeah.
out. You gotta plan, strategize. Be strategic
Yeah.
with your moves as well.
Strategize and then execute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember that process for your music video.
Oh,
You know,
that one.
You sent an email.
Yeah.
You sent an outline
Right.
of like top to bottom.
That's how you gotta be.
About the video, the concepts, when in the music.
Yep.
And then on top of that, there was an agenda for the day too.
Yeah.
And it was tripping me out because this was shot in Vegas,
Right.
up in Mount Charleston.
Mount Charleston. Yeah.
There was still snow, and it was May?
Yeah, I think
May?
it was May.
And there was snow. I mean, okay, give it was in higher,
Climate.
climate.
Yeah.
It was in the mountains, right?
Right.
Mount Charleston, but like in Vegas, this doesn't really happen. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
I was tripping out too. I was like, the snow is still up here.
'cause I remember you tried shooting it like maybe February.
Yeah, but then it didn't come together then. But then, yeah, I was like, if the snow is still there, May will do it. But I'm like, I didn't want to release it because then it was like summer after that. And like,
Right.
That's why I released it this year, the beginning of the year. Yeah.
And then you just have so much content already that
I do.
you just have it backed up.
Yep.
Like you were telling me, like a new challenge that you're doing soon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be called Lost in the Tropics.
Lost in the Tropics.
Open verse challenge. Just
I
like
heard-
my Busy went crazy, so I was like, I gotta go ahead and keep this momentum up because the fans loving the artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you would think they have a little bit more time to look on their phones now.
Yeah,
Right?
they do.
At
So
least
I
a
think
little
it'll
bit.
even go more crazy. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that in the next few weeks. I'm gonna just say the next few weeks. I'm not gonna put a date on it yet
Yeah.
because everybody's gonna be watching this.
Right,
So
right.
it's coming.
Right,
Stay
right.
tuned.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to them here too. That right now is the perfect time just to
Be on your
really
phone.
grind.
Yeah.
To be on your phone.
Yeah.
To grind because, like you said, people are on their phones.
Facts.
People are on their phones and they have a little bit more time to see what's going on. They
Right.
have all that, so it's the perfect time, for artists to grind
Put
and
yourself out there.
put yourself out there.
Especially
Time to
on
step
social
up.
media. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I mean, it's a tool it's controversial tool all the time, but I mean it helps
exactly.
when you fuel it with the right gas.
Exactly.
It helps too, and so it's a double-edged sword. I like to say that
Yeah.
all the time, but
I like that.
depends on how you use it and everything. So
Facts.
yeah, I see some people, take breaks on social media and all, and
Like a detox cleanse.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
I've gone that route before too, and it kind of shifts like your energy in a sense too. I'll say that. But how I got in this question before, like how do I consistently stay on social media, going through like all these like events and like
Right.
everything that's happening that you see, it can be from something positive or it can be something like really negative,
Right.
and so
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
right, perspective and
Yep.
that's kind of what fuels it. And if I'm actually happy, away from the screen, I could put the phone down and I don't have to check it
Right.
every 20 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
It becomes addictive.
yeah,
It's like
yes,
a drug. It really
yes.
is. Yeah.
I feel like it's the motion too. Like you're
Yeah.
so used to like grabbing the
Where
pocket.
is it?
Yeah, and then when your phone's lost, you freak out if the wallet. It's like I'll just cancel my
Yeah, you
cards,
see?
whatever, no big deal. But the phone, oh no, you can't be the phone
Yeah.
because now I'm like throwing everything, my blankets, I'm trying
Right,
to
right.
find it. I'm like, where's my phone? Call it,
That's
call it, call
me
it.
too, really.
And it's
though.
like, whoa,
It's kind of
like,
sad.
where did that come from?
Can we
Like,
live without our phones?
right. How did that turn into that? Like, where did that come from? Where did the time go? I remember when
Right.
I had a cell phone when I was maybe 8 years old, and I didn't pay attention to it. Like, I had it off. Like, I didn't. It wasn't that the battery was dead. It was just off because I didn't have any interest. And we had landlines, and
Right.
the AOL was becoming a thing. The dial-up.
Right.
So,
Telling you, society.
Yeah.
Society will mold that
Yeah.
into you. And that's all you see people doing on their phone.
Yeah.
Social media. I think social media started that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because everyone's on their phone because of Instagram, Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
So where do you feel like it stemmed from? Like the MySpace days, or do you think it pushes back even further?
MySpace. I didn't even. It might be MySpace.
Yeah.
I think it's Facebook. I had a
Facebook more so.
MySpace on my computer. I never had a phone with MySpace, but
Yeah.
I think it's Facebook because I started Facebook on my phone.
So you think that's when they implemented all that in that specific generation?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, even when I work at the hospital, some of the older ones, they'll tell me like the differences and like how it's changed so much, and
Right.
they're like, how do you even know those things? Like, how to do that and that? Because like, they'll go like, back in my day and this, and I mean, like, yeah, it might get redundant, but you really listen and you're like, oh, wow, like they came from a different time too, and they had their own set of problems, and
Right.
then now, like, with social media and like everything that we have, we come with our own set of problems too.
Exactly.
And I feel like it's just kind of like, I wouldn't say overlooked, but it's always kind of like pushed to the side and like, well, we had it like this, and this, and then it becomes like this long like comparison line.
Right.
And it's like, well, we all kind of are a glimpse in time. Like, you would be like 1930s, then you'd show
And
a
this
running
is what
clip.
happened, yeah.
1940s, you'd show a running clip.
And it all has like the same kind of patterns. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Repeats itself, and
History repeats itself.
yeah.
Definitely.
So I guess what to say is there's a bigger picture to it.
To
you
it,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, there's all these small details
Yeah.
that build. I mean, I feel like we're just we're born, we're put on here, and we're continuing what the generations before us were already moving.
Exactly.
And
So
we're
somebody gotta change it though.
Yeah.
We gotta
break the cycle.
break the cycle.
Break
yeah.
the cycle. But it's also important to know, like, when you are like in that cycle or in a specific cycle. You know what I mean?
Self-awareness.
Yeah,
You
so-
gotta be self-aware.
yeah.
I'm tell
That's
you.
exactly what I'm
Some third eyes.
saying.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like some people don't realize that they're in this continuous cycle. Like, they have these set of problems, and then
Exactly.
they're mad at the set of problems. And I'm like, okay, we're mad at these problems, but we've seen this happen before.
So
and
what
we've
can we
seen
do
this
to change it?
exactly to break it,
Yeah.
so it's
What
not just
can
consistent.
we do? Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if you don't know, you're gonna keep repeating the same thing. Like you said,
Yeah.
history repeats itself. We gotta be able to look in the mirror, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's exactly it. I didn't even realize self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Yeah.
Self-awareness is finding
It's
that
deep.
finding that cycle, like, oh shoot, I am in this cycle.
Yeah.
And this is what happened before, and then this is similar to this and that. You
It
know.
stems from our childhood as well. That's why I always try to go back. Like,
Yeah.
what did I see my parents do?
Yeah.
Why am I the way I am? Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I'm like looking back. It always goes back to your childhood.
Right.
So always look back at that
Yeah.
while you're looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know.
And then a certain point is like, at a certain point in life, I feel like then we have a little bit more control of our decisions and like who we become
Yeah.
after like all of our experiences, like
Exactly.
growing up. Because we don't choose our parents. We don't choose necessarily our situation in the beginning.
But
you
we
know, as a
do
kid.
choose to how to react from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So at a certain point, we're making our own decisions,
Exactly.
and we become the person that we needed when we were younger,
Yep.
or that whoever we want to be.
Exactly.
You know. So
You either break the cycle or continue it.
exactly,
Be your parents.
and that's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
you-
deep.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't.
They don't get it.
They can't.
Right.
It's a frequency.
don't
I'm
get
telling you.
it.
That's why me and you, from
Yeah.
jump, I feel like we always been on the same wavelength.
What's your zodiac sign again?
I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah. Okay.
And what are you?
It makes sense. I'm a Cancer.
Cancer and Scorpio.
That
Sheesh.
and we'll get the horoscope fans, and get them all jumpy about that. I know it's just a fun thing. Like for me at least, like I like to read on them, and it's fun to me to see how accurate it can be.
I feel like it is.
Yeah. And like when I first started like looking at them and reading into them, 12, 13, 14 years old, I'm like, oh, these are so vague. These are so general. Like, no, this isn't me. But I thought about it and I'm like, I'm 14.
Yeah,
Like, what
exactly.
did I go through? What kind of like journey experience or like layers did I go through to be able to even like say, oh yeah, that's me.
Right.
I didn't experience anything.
Right.
yet.
Right. I feel like you gotta learn yourself more to connect with like the horoscopes. You
Yeah.
gotta know a lot more about yourself so you're able to, is this true or is it? I feel like a lot of the stuff is true. Very rarely do I feel like nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now more and more I read into it, I'm like, this is
accurate.
This is pretty. This is 100% me. I mean,
Right.
I read something on there that said for a career path that cancers they're very nurturing, and then they're very they like to entertain.
Facts. And that's
So-
true.
So you're
Because
right.
you're-
I'm in the hospital,
And you're a dancer.
and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a dancer. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty scary.
Right.
Accurate.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my new thing.
Right.
I downloaded like 2 apps and like.
Which one you got?
I'll tell you, it's this like stars align galaxy.
Is it the purple
thing.
one?
CoStar,
CoStar?
and no, I know the purple one that you're talking about too. I think I
forgot
ended
what
up,
it's called.
I think I ended up deleting that one.
Yeah, I did too. I would be on YouTube too, or not
Failed.
YouTube and Yahoo.
Yeah.
Horoscopes.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of dwell into that and just read up into that because I don't know. I don't like to really keep a closed mind
Me either.
ever. Yeah, and like you kind
can't.
of feel the
If
same
you're
way.
trying to grow, you can't have a
Exactly.
closed mind.
Yeah, I don't like to close my past and my dimension. So
Right.
and I know you feel the same way. So
Dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
yeah,
that
I'm
choice
just,
of words. Yeah.
dimension. I got a bunch of dimension layers,
Right.
levels,
Go ahead.
experiences.
Right.
Keep
Junction.
going. Keep going.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of them. So okay, going back to you being like more specifically, a rap artist. Was that always like the genre of choice, or did you have like other genres that you kind of listened to, inspired by?
I listen to all types of genres, like
Okay.
reggae, because I am Hawaiian, so I've been really dipping into
Yes.
my Hawaiian side recently. So I've been including like this new "Lost in the Tropics" song. Got a little bit of reggae vibe with
Yeah.
the hip hop, so you'll hear it coming soon.
You saw me getting down to it too.
Yeah,
like-
he was busting it down. I might have to put him in that video too. I might have to do a dance challenge.
I know. Oh man, it's just right outside the studio here.
Yeah,
But it's a great
Freestyle.
song.
I
I
appreciate
mean,
it.
obviously, I was getting down to it.
yeah.
I loved it
You was feeling it.
already.
Yeah,
I want to see the challenge. I want to be in the challenge.
yeah. You gonna bust down a couple lines?
Yeah. Yeah.
I might have to do an open verse and after that a dance challenge.
See, and that's tight because now it would be like that kind of creative process for me that I'm not really used to, and like kind of. Can you imagine like writing out lyrics? Like I can't. I know you can, but I wouldn't even know where to
I think
start.
you might.
I wouldn't even know where to start, man.
That's
don't
how
know.
I feel with dancing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, so the way I was like helping you out in the studio, kind of like finding a flow, finding a freestyle.
that was a big help. Yeah.
And then so how like how would you incorporate that in like teaching like someone like me doesn't know how to like what I'm saying? Like, would you be able to
I
replicate
would
like
say,
what you do?
are you talking about like writing lyrics?
Yeah,
I would just
something.
say, listen to the beat. How are
Yeah.
you? What is it saying to you? Instead of
Ah.
moving, like I know you hear it in a different,
Okay.
but I would say like, what is it saying, speaking to you? Like,
Okay.
That's how I normally do. I put the beat on, and then I'm like, what is it saying? It feels like maybe this might be a grind song, so I'll be like, okay, 9 to 5. Talk about like
Yeah.
just put the words together with them. That's how I do it.
And that's like going
With the
off
beat.
of going off of
Yeah.
the beat.
I feel the
Right.
beat. It speaks to me, and then I speak back.
So the beat becomes before the lyrics.
Yeah.
The beat becomes before the lyrics. So that would be the first step. Would be
To
like
me, it's some
the
people
beat.
just have lyrics written already.
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't really work that way. I mean, I can,
Mhm.
but the more natural way for me is to hear the beat. What is it saying to me? What kind of vibe do I feel about it? And then start writing. How does it inspire? Yeah.
Is there like a certain structure, like like a haiku structure, like how like people like write poems and stuff? Like, is there a way? And
I think everyone's is different.
yeah,
I just start from what I feel. I don't
Yeah.
even go into like format of what.
Ah.
Yeah, I just straight off the top
Straight
of
off
the
the
house.
dome.
Yeah, straight off the dome. How I feel. Yeah,
So in a sense, kind of like in dancing, kind of like a freestyle,
low
Right.
key. Yeah,
right? Okay. So if that's one way I could compare it to like
yeah. You
how
could
we
say
go.
freestyle. Yeah,
kind of like a freestyle then.
it's
So
like similar. Yeah,
so
dancing and rap
Yeah.
music is similar. The process.
so I'm wondering, like, I know you don't you don't have to rhyme your words, right? But
You don't have to,
you don't have to, right?
but it just I think it sounds better.
It flows better
Yeah.
and goes better. So when do you start incorporating that? Because I know you just start going off the dome and
I just start like, to me, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just go off of like, okay, how do I feel? I write it down in the last word. Okay, I go off the last word. So the last word, and I'm like, okay, what can I say that makes sense? That
yeah.
yeah,
Was there ever a word that like you're like, oh,
I don't
can't
even
come
know
up with a word.
how, Right. Study the dictionary.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like, do you start like at that point? Do you just start looking, things up, or have you ever not even gotten to that point?
I mean, I'm always trying to expand my vocabulary and
Yeah.
everything, so I'm always looking up things, like looking through the dictionaries, stuff like that. Rhyme zone.
Yeah.
It's another thing, another platform you can use. Yeah.
Dang. See, so I'm learning a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And
What about for you with dancing? Like, how do you come?
how
up
do I
with
like
your-
come up
yeah.
with stuff? So okay, kind of the same way. Like it starts with the music, and obviously, like most of the time, I'm using another artist's song. I haven't dwelled into like producing music or
Right.
or making music or anything, which I would want to. I'd love to. I always go with like beats, and I'm always finding myself like,
Right.
like yo, I would want to do this. But anyway, so I hear the song, I'll start moving to it. I'll listen to
Feeling
it.
it.
Just kind of how you're feeling it, and
Vibe.
yeah, and for me, that's how I go with about my choreo is that I kind of go off of like the feeling and stuff. Not
Exactly.
everybody is in touch with, their feeling and stuff directly, so they kind of do it in another way. Maybe they have like their own format of how they do things. Maybe they just strategically do it. They think like, okay, maybe I'll do this. Maybe they do it by the counts. Me,
Right.
I go by the feeling. I go by the music. Dancers kind of have their own vocabulary when they teach. They'll say like a boom, cat, cat, boom, boom, cat, cat.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go on a boom and a cat, cat.
Yeah, yeah.
And some dancers like maybe dancers that are used to knowing counts, learning from counts.
Right.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. They're used to that. They're like, what is on boom? What is boom, boom, cat, cat? And they get
Right.
lost. You know what I mean? And so it kind of like developed into its own kind of language, and that's how I first learned it through the dance community, through
Right.
the team that I was on at the time, learning how to teach and choreograph. And then I started to learn about counts because then I started teaching at like conventions, and
Right.
I was doing like judging and stuff. So these are like studio kids, and I know a lot of them go by counts, so I'd have to like straighten up my counts and stuff. And then
Right.
I would have like one slip up, and they'd be like, "Wait, what is that?" They're like, "What's on Boom Boom Cat?" I'm like, "Oh shoot! Like I forgot that I have to."
Yeah, that sounds hard.
I gotta
like, to
switch it up.
teach.
Yeah. So anyway, so how I go about is I go off of my feeling, because that's what I feel like is the most natural, the most organic that comes from me, and then it would be the most original because everybody is born different. Everybody is born with a different fingerprint.
So we're like the same then.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we have our own thing going, so why not like times 10 that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Facts.
I listen to the song and just my song of choice, depending on what it is, and I freestyle to it, I move to it, I find where I want to start in the song, and I kind of see it as a roller coaster. Like in the beginning, I don't want to show all my cards right away, so I'm
Exactly.
here. Maybe I'll come in with a walk. Maybe I'll do a look on a 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I'll come up. Maybe I'll start down from the ground, then I'll come up. Maybe I'll slide into it or something like that.
Right.
Just like the entrance, build up, build up, build up, and then it gets to like that big point,
Then
and
you
then
just, bah!
exactly boom, 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 then go crazy, and then finish it with a freestyle, and then do a flip, and then do bust a split.
Whew.
Those are just like, and that's just off
Right.
the dome. Like just
Yeah.
at the end, and that's what kind of what I would consider like a freestyle. But
That's
just kinda,
dope. It's similar to my process.
yeah. So it's just
Yeah, it's the same thing, just different. Mine's is words and yours is moving.
right, and
Yeah.
then and then you just see how it's connected in a way, but just in different outlets.
Right.
And it's crazy. And then we start working together.
Exactly. That's why when we were practicing, you were hearing things and I was hearing different things. I'm like,
Right.
wait, where did it? Hold on. Like, I'm
That
listening to
process,
it different. And I'm
yeah.
like, what beat are you hitting?
That
Like,
process was cool though,
yeah,
because
it was dope.
because I was trying to have you count me off. I remember that, and like the way you were counting was different from the way a
Right.
dancer would usually count. And I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. I wouldn't like really typically listen to that, because right away dancers are looking for, at least with a lot of dancers, they're looking for the most intricate thing of the song, like something that like you can hear, but you don't notice it right away. And because that's what a dancer loves to do, and especially like me, I love to show things in the music that like you didn't hear before when you first heard it.
Bring
And then-
that sound out.
Yeah,
So I'm
and then you
like,
bring the
"Dang, I
sound
didn't even hear
out.
that."
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
like. I didn't even hear
dancers
that
love that,
drum.
yeah.
Right.
dancers love to
Right.
to go off with that. So, but then like then you were showing me the lyrics, the top. What I like to see as like the top layer, or maybe you see it different, but how I see it is like the top layer of the song, where you can really see, or where you can really hear the most. Like, okay, I can hear the bass because it's super like boom, super low. You can hear the hi hats,
Right.
super up there with the tone and the octave. And
Right.
then I can hear the lyrics, obviously. But then like you have like the other layers into it, then you hear like maybe like something in there, like a
Right.
horn, like
Yeah, it
or
was
something
that
like that.
drum for me. I was like, I didn't even hear that
Oh,
until
right.
you like hit the beat. And I'm like, oh, now I hear it because I can see you hitting it. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
and then
that's deep.
again, it started with the beat first.
Yeah,
There was the
beat.
process, and then you started flowing with it, and then
It was cool to learn that process of how you guys move off of things.
yeah.
Because me, like you said, the outer layer, I'm more focused on like the lyrics. So I'm hearing the lyrics more than I'm hearing the actual sounds. Like, yeah.
And then and then that's what just kind of like brings it out, I guess. So in a full performance, what I'm seeing in my eyes, like in a full performance on a stage, when you're rapping,
Right.
you're getting it, you're doing some choreographed stuff with us over here, that adds like a layer over here.
Yeah.
Like you see this visual, you see this movement over here.
The
it
dynamics,
almost looks like
yeah.
the dynamics, the layers. It looks like you're kind of moving the stage.
Yeah.
But the stage
Dope.
is still, but we're moving, and it just gives all that dynamic for a great performance.
Great performance,
right?
entertainment.
Exactly, and that's what we were saying earlier,
Yep,
right?
It all ties back in.
So you think, okay, so besides Chris Brown, I'm gonna say Bruno Mars is an amazing,
phenomenal.
entertainer,
Definitely.
performer,
Great.
Yep,
And he's from Hawaii too.
there you go. See, it
Yeah.
it runs in it.
Definitely.
Who else would you say?
I like Jason Derulo.
Jason.
I feel like he slept on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give some credit to him.
Yes.
He's definitely. I think he said Michael Jackson was his inspiration as well. I think
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people say Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He's a legend. But yeah,
Facts.
definitely Jason, Bruno, like you said, Chris Brown.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it, I would say. For
Yeah.
Me. Yeah. What do you think? Who else? Who else we missing? Who else are we missing?
Whoa, that's a good question.
Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's usually
Well,
kind
there's
of like
Sierra,
yeah,
Jennifer Lopez, but like my type of style.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
say.
That's what I was
Yeah.
veering like around,
Yeah.
like your kind of style
and
genre,
vibe,
yeah,
yeah.
vibe, yeah. I was trying to think in that
So yeah, that's
sense too.
Yep.
So Chris Brown,
Chris Brown.
consistently in it.
definitely.
I mean, you saw that music video with Drake. Was it?
Is
you
it-
got it, you got it. When they had that dance off.
yeah. That was dope. I'm
See,
glad they
yeah,
came together
so-
on that.
exactly.
That was fire. That was fire. But yeah, I think he got Michael Jackson's moves to a T. I think he's like, besides Jason Derulo, I think Chris Brown got it down.
And he looked up to him,
Yeah,
you know.
you can see it in his
Yeah.
moves. So you see Mike when he does his little pops and moves.
I remember, I think on MTV Sweet 16, like
Yeah.
or Sweet 18 for him, like Chris Brown
Yeah.
had a party, and you know what? This kind of makes me feel old to talk about that.
Yeah, we kind of getting old.
Yeah,
Huh?
Still grinding, still hustling.
Yeah, millionaires by 30.
Yeah, speak it. I'm gonna speak
Speak it
to.
into
I'm gonna
existence.
speak it to. But then anyway, so he was like, he called Michael Jackson to get a happy birthday greeting, and the closest he got was he was on the phone on hold, and then it hung up, and like Chris Brown loved that. Like obviously, like still that was in his earlier years, so he wasn't as big as he is now, but he like loved that. He was like, oh man, even though I didn't really get to hear, the king say happy birthday to me, like that was close enough.
I
Like
answered the phone and hung
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. He's like he hung up on me,
Can't
like
get no closer than that.
so but he loved that. He was still humbled by that, and like he really just kind of like honed his style, and
Facts.
you know what I mean. It just made him an overall better performer, and I feel like
Exactly.
that,
Always working on your craft.
and that's
definitely.
what you look into,
Yeah.
as well, right?
That's why I try to take notes. You gotta always be a student
Right.
first before you can teach.
Right.
So yeah, definitely want to leave a legacy like that.
Yes. See,
Set the bar.
Yeah, it's bigger
high.
than that.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that. Leaving something to be proud of.
Yeah.
In your life.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people just see it for the small details. They see it for, oh, you're so popular. I wish I could have all those views.
Deeper than that, but like how?
Exactly,
Why?
yeah. Why?
Dig deeper.
There's a reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a reason for that, but that's just the outer layer
It's
of
the
it.
surface. Yeah.
That's that's just
I
the
mean,
result of it.
Exactly.
But all of that, like
Did you
inner,
see the glacier?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So underneath in the water, there's this huge, huge glacier.
Yep.
You just see the tip of the
tip
iceberg,
Yep.
right? But there's so much work built into that.
Discipline,
and it just comes.
rejection, late nights,
Yeah.
early mornings,
Yeah.
all of that. The list goes on.
Ironically, just speaking about that, anyways.
Yeah.
Late nights, early mornings.
Man.
Lots of coffee, maybe.
Lots
like
of coffee.
lots of coffee,
wellness
baby.
shots.
Yeah. No, oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it just reminded me of that. Like on the way here, we took a wellness shot. Not V and I, but my brother and I. We took a wellness shot before we came in here, and I had never taken one before. So I was like, okay, like let's take it. Whatever. It looks like a blended juice. It looks like a smoothie that I could drink the whole bottle. Shout out to Amber for making that, by the way. She does her own stuff, and she's the one that delivered it to us. Anyways, so I took it. She said 1 ounce, right? Take 1 ounce maybe for like 3 to 4 days, and then you'll get used to your stomach will get used to it. Then start taking 2 ounces. I didn't measure it. I just I got a glass like this big, and I poured it, and I was like, okay, good enough. It was probably like that much. So if you can see this in the camera, is that a lot? Is that 1 ounce? If that's more than 1 ounce, then I messed up, because it's like about that much. We drank it. Right away, I feel the spice. It's so spicy. It's burning like down my throat, and I can feel it like hit my stomach. I'm just like, my stomach started hurting. I'm like,
Oh,
gosh.
no. That's
Oh,
right before you
gosh.
got here.
I know, and I was like, this is
Sheesh.
right before I get here, so I'm like, ugh. But I'm like, I'm gonna be in trouble. But no,
Right.
I was like bourbon in the car and stuff. But I had never taken anything like that before, and
What was in it?
it sounds bad that I don't know what I'm drinking. Hold on. A lot of stuff. I know there was
A lot of stuff.
ginger and
Ginger. Yep.
ginger for sure.
Turmeric.
Look at me. I don't even know. I'll get back to you on that behind cameras.
Okay.
I'm over here trying to like look at what's in it, but for sure it was definitely detox.
Detox.
It hit the stomach. I was like, wow, my very first time taking that. And even before like we started shooting, before we got in here, I was like, it's kind of early for me to speak on the results and like see how I feel. But this is
Right.
only my first time taking it too, so I'm sure it's not going to be like right away, like
Right.
an instant result. But like
You felt that boost, though,
I-
huh? Like,
yeah.
whew,
I felt that. And that
sheesh.
it's definitely a wellness shot. It is not a wellness smoothie, wellness extra large, supersized drink. No, like it's take a shot.
It's powerful, huh?
That
I'm gonna need one of
hit.
those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sample that.
Yeah,
Get me
And
one
she
when
sells
you're
it.
not.
yeah. She sells it. She delivers it too.
Oh, she delivers too. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a delivery, special delivery.
Yeah, 'cause
whatever one you have.
I know you're into that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm into health as well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you were a vegan for a little bit.
I
I'm not-
was.
Yeah.
I tried it.
How was that?
It's hard. Well, it's only as hard as you make it, but
Yeah.
I just feel like I need at least some fish and
Yeah.
some shrimp. you know.
Could miss out on the sushi.
Yeah, sushi. I need sushi. I'm Hawaiian. I need my fish.
Oh man, that's the weakness.
Yeah,
Sushi.
so
Oh man.
I mean, I can
okay.
live without all the other stuff like the
Yeah.
beef and stuff, but vegan. Love the plants, but I still need my fish.
Yeah.
Need those proteins. Fish and shrimp,
Yeah.
lobster, that kind of stuff. Can't cut that out.
So what is the diet looking like now? Yeah.
It's green plants, plant-based still, but fish. I do include fish. That's about it. Water. I like my alkaline water.
Is it still that Kangen water? Kangen?
They call
Kangen.
all types of names. Kangen, Kagan.
Yeah. Is that still kind
I
of similar?
don't do that anymore, but I keep because it was too much back and forth, and the machines were like crazy amounts of money. But I do alkaline still, but not Kagan.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm gonna get a whole system in my house.
So I'm still super new to it, and I seen this documentary on Netflix, and they were talking about how water, the water that you drink, should have minerals
Yeah,
in it, right? Not what we see every day, like at a gas station, purified water or something like that.
that's not good for you.
That's
Purified
not
water.
that's not
yeah,
good, right?
It's not.
Okay, so you can
Has like
second
a-
me on
it's-
that,
A lot of acidity. It's acidic
Yeah.
water. It's not good for you.
especially
Acid
Dasani.
water.
I heard.
Dasani is the worst.
Okay.
Dasani, Aquafina, those are your top smart waters.
Oh.
None of those are good.
Oh,
I think the best one they have out, they said Fiji is a
Fiji.
good one. Or is it
Yeah.
artesian water?
I mess with the Fiji.
Is it Essentia? Is that what it's called?
It's like black and red.
Yeah, I think it's called I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's the clear
Yeah.
bottle with the black and red. It looks like a
Right.
battery.
Yeah, I've had
They
that.
said that's like one of the top best ones as well.
Yeah, and it says 9.5 pH on that.
Yeah, that's what you
Okay.
need.
Okay. Is it possible to get a 10? Just kidding.
Probably
I'm just
not. Is it possible?
See,
I don't think-
is it possible is a different story. Than
Right.
this.
What
No.
if they make it that way?
Yeah. See, so that's what I'm saying is there should be minerals in the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're always drinking or not.
Poison, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Fluoride, all that.
All of that stuff.
Yeah. And you don't
It's
even know it. That's why I
garbage.
said self-awareness. The
Yeah.
more you know, the more you grow.
That's like garbage water.
Yeah.
like-
It
And
also affects the way you think as well. Putting those.
Yeah. See, and then you start getting into all of that.
Yeah. Consciousness, it's deep. Everything you eat, drink, it all plays a part in who you are and how you are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why self-awareness is like, I'm on that journey right now, my spiritual path.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay self-aware and be the best me I can be.
Yeah, because then, you think it messes with like how you behave,
Exactly.
your decision
You don't
making.
even know why. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you would think like the things that you could just see extensively, like pimples or something, or
Right.
bags
Yep.
or something. But then you would think like hormones and
Yeah. Food.
You know
It's
what I
all in the
mean?
food too.
it is.
Yep.
It's a big topic too.
In the air too. It's in the air.
Yeah.
Low key.
It's everywhere, man. It's,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. And
And everything you do,
Yeah.
eat, drink, sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we know we're both 26 at an early age. We're already investing in the body, and
You have to.
I thought at the age of like 16, 17, I think is when I was my heaviest. I was 280. No, 285. 185.
I couldn't see you, 285. 185.
185. My heaviest was 185, and it was all just like in the stomach. It was in the face,
Mhm.
and like I had like big arms, because I was still like going to the gym and everything, but it was the diet. Like I was just eating,
Whatever, huh?
McDonald's, like maybe every weekend. I was eating McDonald's. I was just eating a bunch of everything, no filter, just going off. And even till this day, I still have a huge appetite, but it's more controlled. And like
Yeah.
I really tried to make healthier just choices so they
Exactly.
become healthier habits. So when the time really does come for like 35, 40,
You're prepared.
yeah,
It's like a car.
exactly.
Take care of your car. You gotta change the
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah,
Put that good oil, or your car's gonna break down.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people's
so-
car break down earlier than before
Right.
30. Shit.
And I can second that because I
Yeah.
see it in the hospital all the time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I look and I'm like, wow, this person's only 24.
And they're going through this?
They look 60.
Really?
I kid you not.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like these are
24 and look 60.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
Jesus.
No exaggeration. And it's like, that's why I see a lot of. That's I'm very thankful for that job because I see a lot of
It shows you
stuff.
perspective. Yeah.
It gives you perspective. You know, you go in and you're like, oh man, I have to work. I got to be here for
It's a learning
12
lesson.
hours.
Yeah.
But then it's like I got to be there for 12 hours, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But then I can still go on vacation when I
Right.
plan to, and then I can still go home for another 12 hours
Right.
and do all that. But those patients, some of them just are in the bedridden, and they're there for a long time. And I'm over here complaining for being there for 12 hours.
Right.
When they're there, they lay in that bed.
They live there.
They lay in that bed. They live there. They see the same thing, and they don't move. They have nurses that move them, CNAs that move them from getting pressure sores. Like it's just not like a life, like an ideal life, you know. And
It makes you
nobody
appreciate.
wants that.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate
Yeah.
your life. Even when you're going through a hard time, you think it's
Yeah.
the worst, but it's like you look at other people's lives and you're like, you better be grateful for what you got because it can always be worse, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I always say that.
Yeah.
It could always be worse, you know.
Exactly.
That job has given me a lot of perspective, and it's really matured me inside.
As a person.
And
Yeah.
and I'm a caring person to begin with, so
Exactly.
it's just kind of second nature to be able to care for people,
Right.
you know. And
That's the
Yeah.
cancer.
yeah, yeah. See, like these are 100% accurate. Like
Horoscopes. I'm telling
yeah,
you.
the caring, the nurturing.
The nurturing.
It's ruled by the moon. Yes, and Cancer is a water sign, so
Sheesh.
mother, something like that. It's very like mothery.
Yeah. Mother nurturing. Yeah. For sure.
Matt, old mother nurture.
Yeah. That's why we get along.
That's-
Scorpio and Cancer. Water signs. Sheesh.
Yeah.
We go deep.
Exactly, and that's why like I wanted to get this session because I know
Yeah.
like the way we talk already, like that could just be thrown into
Right.
a podcast right away. And that,
Exactly.
I said that same thing with Vendi, just like in a different light because you know we're different people as well,
Exactly.
but it just goes in, you know, it goes.
Yeah, I
naturally
watch you
in.
guys. We all talk, at rehearsals, because even Vendi was in the performance. Well, he was supposed to be in the
Yeah.
reset, but we all would just. That was like practice.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you still been dancing at all? Dancing?
I freestyle a little bit, but have I been fully focused on it? No. But we're gonna get back into that.
Yeah. I mean, you have a studio in your
Yes.
new place, right?
In the new house, so come through.
Yeah.
We got mirrors all over the place. Perfect for what we need. It's an entertainment house now, so we got photo shoots, entertainment.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
I seen those photo
The
shoots
whole
happening
setup,
over there.
yeah, it's dope.
Those are tight.
Yeah,
Wild in the best way possible. Those are wild.
yeah. Pool parties and go straight to the photo shoot.
Pool parties, photo shoot.
We got dancers upstairs too,
guys
exotic
are with it.
dancers.
You guys
know.
are with it. I like that.
You know,
like
quarantine
that.
coming up.
See?
Quarantine come up.
And that's what I talk like you have the hustle and
Gotta.
you're always like
You have to hustle.
so you're waking up every day, every night or whenever you wake up. You know, what's like the first thing on your mind and what's like the last thing on
Gotta
your
go
mind?
get it.
Yeah.
Because it takes, to me, it takes money to make money.
Yeah.
So that's my whole journey has been about I get money, put it into myself, invest it into myself, to my craft. That's how I have so much content. I'm able to, I did tours, I got myself out there, did things with Mike Jones. It's all about your grind, your hustle.
Yeah.
How bad do you really want it? Because no one's going to pay for you. And if they do pay for you, you're going to be controlled. So it's like
Right.
it's either you get it on your own or
Uh-huh.
you be told what to do. So I'm like, that's what I think. I don't want anyone controlling my life. So I'm always like, I got to be my own motivation, my own inspiration. Like, got to go get it.
That's what takes you far because then
Yeah.
it kind of creates you create your own lane that makes you untouchable
Exactly.
because it's your craft. You know, no one can do it
Mhm.
better than you.
Right.
You know, so you create your own lane for yourself. You're untouchable pretty much.
Exactly. But it's hard.
Yeah.
But
It is hard. It is.
Yeah.
Coming from one respect to another.
To another.
I mean,
you always on your grind too. I look up to you. Your
It's-
grind too. I'm like, he's in the hospital one minute, and next minute he's in the studio. Dang. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. So we both know, but I mean, nonetheless, it doesn't mean it was easy.
Yeah.
And I
It's
mean,
never
like,
easy.
I don't know about you, but for me, I was never like I was always not looked at as like the person or this one's like got it that they're so good. Like I I wasn't like looked at all, you know,
Right.
and I had to work for it. I was always kind
Exactly.
of like the underdog, is what I'm trying
Right.
to say. And then just stayed silent and worked hard, and just kind of
Yeah.
let that make the noise. But
Exactly. Stay
I'm
humble.
yeah,
Like a silent, like what was it called? Quiet storm.
a quiet storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's rewarding in itself, and if you're doing it for something bigger than
Then
like
just
we're
your
saying,
ego.
followers,
Yeah.
likes,
Then it's fulfilling.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
It recharges you to see
Recharges
those results. You know.
you.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can obviously see that there's something bigger and something more that we want. Legacy
Legacy.
is what you're saying.
What do you want to
right?
leave behind? Yeah,
Exactly.
it lives on.
That's really that what you can leave, because you know you don't bring material stuff, you don't bring money, you don't bring cars, you know,
Exactly.
you leave a legacy for, you know, people to continue on and remember you by, and
Continue to be inspired, like
It's-
Michael Jackson.
it's a big thing.
So
Yeah.
many people still inspired by him. Even
Still,
children that never even he
It
passed
lives
away.
on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it lives on,
They're still inspired. That's how I'm trying to be like.
and so that's part of the
Yeah.
bigger picture.
Exactly.
The small stuff is like all those little things that you see because of it,
Yep.
you know. But I mean, like, the big picture is that,
Yep.
you know, what are you going to leave behind, you know, and what can you leave behind to the, you know, people that are important to you.
Exactly.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Generational wealth as well. You want to start your people off, you know, not in poverty. You don't want to have to repeat the cycle like we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier.
it
You
all
wanna
ties in.
leave. Yeah, exactly.
Just like if we can show like a really, really, really big chart map thing, it all ties in.
It all ties together. Exactly. Everything's connected. I'm telling you, that junction, that makes complete sense. I'm glad we went over that.
And let me tell you about this logo business that I made for Experience as well.
That's
So
dope.
it's inspired from a Venn diagram.
Okay.
So obviously it's a
Pros,
dance
cons, and then in the middle
is
similarities,
where
right?
all the dancers meet up.
Oh, okay.
Because we're all dancers. We all speak the same language, but we have all of our disciplines, which makes it your differences.
Right.
But in the middle is where you experience, and that's where we all come together, through
Yep.
the event.
Facts. Gee, I love it. I love it. And I like how the E is junction.
Oh, you like that?
I mean, the X. my bad.
yeah.
That's dope.
The X. Yeah, that's what Teness added that, but
I
I
like
mean
the
it's
E
sleek.
too. That it looks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's dope.
the homie Carlos Tapia, he's the one that made that. He made our first batch of flyers too and everything.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
We can get some merch. Some
Yeah,
shirts.
yeah, yeah. We have shirts.
Hoodies.
Yeah, hoodies.
Give me one.
We
purple.
want it. Yeah. Purple. You know, there's gonna be purple. We wanted masks and everything.
Oh, that'd be fly.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
but we're actually planning an event next month, September 25th. We're actually going to be hosting a dance teacher. She's from Florida. Her name is Marley Hightower. You know, big in the choreo scene, and she's going to be teaching a workshop here. We're going to have like 12 students. It's going to be like really intimate kind of like workshop and stuff. So
That'd be dope.
yeah, I still wanted to throw something and, you know, keep us busy, keep us moving and all, because like we were saying, tying in again, that it's the time for like artists to really step up and really like start
Step it up,
putting
that's
in their
what I'm saying.
stuff,
Yep.
putting in the work.
Collaborate.
Exactly.
Come together, like you
Exactly.
said, in the middle.
Yeah.
It's dope.
And you know what you know how like the hustlers, they always say, you know, while you're asleep, I'm at the gym. While you're
Yep.
sleeping, I'm doing this. While
Yep.
you're sleeping, I'm doing
The
that.
gym is empty when I'm in
Yeah.
there.
Facts. No facts. I mean, I go at like 1, 2 in the morning.
That's me too. That's the best time
1
to go.
or 2 in the there's like 5 people, and I'm like, well, you know, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's just always that kind of like that mentality to kind of like go. And then so
Yeah.
we're going from the first thing that you have in your thought when you wake up, and what's that last thing? You know, what's the last thing that you have on your mind before you go to sleep? Is it the same thing, or is it just kind of
Sometimes, I mean, I also believe in you got to reset as well. Rest is a good thing. You need
Yeah.
to rest and recover your body. Sometimes it's just peace, just inner peace.
Yeah.
And then
that's a big thing?
inner peace, yeah. Peace has got to be a balance. You gotta have that grind at the same
Balance.
time. You gotta be able to reset too, because if you grind too much, your body goes, disintegrates. You can't grind no more. So it's like you gotta have it
Exactly.
equally. So I'm still working on my balance because sometimes I grind, and then it's like sometimes
It gets addictive.
Yeah, so
I
you
mean,
gotta rest too.
Yeah.
But just keep a balance. You shouldn't, You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be equally, because you
Yeah.
can drain yourself as well.
True.
Drive yourself into the ground.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that comes with the balance, and that's how.
Balance.
That's one thing, driving yourself into
Yeah.
the ground by like hustling. But like I was saying, it's an addictive feeling sometimes.
It is.
Like you like just you want to keep grinding.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're
I
like,
want it
okay.
now.
Yeah, it's like I got this, and your
Yeah.
mind is running, your body is going, and I mean, I don't really like mess with energy drinks. It makes me feel like
Me either.
crazy.
I
But
don't do
so
that.
I'll do coffee here and there, but I'm not like a coffee connoisseur. I don't do it for the taste. Like some people drink decaf for the taste. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like that really, but I really do need something to keep me up and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's pre-workout.
Let's not talk about 5 Hour Energy. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying?
No,
It looks
they'll
like you
make me
need-
jittery. That's what I'm saying.
Looks like you need a coffee though.
I might. I might need a little one.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's a cat nap time. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just always on this like schedule that you don't know like what time I'm gonna go to sleep. And
Right.
It's just kind of like I shut down here, I shut down there. And
Right.
The last episode I was talking about how I was super hyped on a 5 Hour Energy and
Are you
it's a
jittery?
different story. Yeah.
Shaky?
Yeah.
That makes me like
I
that
wouldn't
too.
say
I'm like,
jittery,
can't
but I
do
was
it.
moving already. So like I wasn't jittery because I was like constantly in motion, but I was teaching at the same. This was at experience, so it was my class, and I was teaching to all these students, and I was looking because it was dark by the time, so I was looking out in the open to all this like darkness, and I just like a bunch of lights coming from the stage, and I'm teaching through a microphone, and I'm super hyped off of my 5 Hour Energy. So yeah, that's another story, but that was that. So I don't mess with the 5 Hour Energy.
Was
no
that your
energy
first time
drinks.
taking it?
No,
Oh, okay.
sadly no. But I think it was like a mixture of adrenaline because I'm like, you know, this is crazy. This is my event. You know, I saw this like from the ground up, and I saw it from the ground up, and I was thinking about it a year before I even wanted to do it. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of a big moment.
Brought
I
it
was
in
like,
and you
yeah.
spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
Turn it into a reality.
See?
Hell yeah.
What other songs you got that you can compare that with?
Existence.
Existence.
I have a song called Existence. Go check that out. It is on all social media platforms. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Apple Music, all of the above.
You know,
Go check it out.
one of my like recent favorite ones of you as well is Mosh Pit.
Mosh Pit.
I
That's
really
my
mess with that.
yeah.
I mess with that.
Turn up, rockstar vibes.
See, rockstar vibes, and then you said you kind of just got into like that
Tropical sound.
tropical-
Yeah, I've been trying to tap in, to
Yeah.
all types of different things. I don't like like I said, I don't like to be kept in a box. So I try and pop, reggae, rockstar vibes. The mosh pit is sort of like rockstar vibe, yeah.
Yeah.
On a low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
That's all.
what's the next move? Like what is the? I know you can't really like plan like too much, especially concerts,
Right.
especially shows. We can't right now.
Right.
But
I mean, we could do virtual shows.
yeah.
but
So yeah, even that.
Yeah.
What's the next thing in the vision? What is
Next thing in the vision, I definitely want to do another tour eventually.
Yeah.
Well, once all this COVID clears up, I want to
Yeah.
go back on tour. Tour is a great thing. It's exhausting, but it's great.
I'm sure a lot of artists want to go on tour.
Yeah, tour
as
is
soon as
great.
it's- yeah.
I went on tour with what was it, Love and Hip Hop, BBOD.
What?
Yeah, that was a few years ago. It was crazy, draining. We drove in the van all over the place. It was like 8 cities in like 8 days or some shit. Like every
Oh,
night we was in a
man.
different state, and I'm like, this is draining. We
And that's
sleep
what
in
they
the
talk about in their songs too, right? They're like
It's true.
in a different city every night.
Every
really
night.
on tour or something
For
like
real,
that.
it was
right?
great. It's probably one of my
Yeah.
best experiences though.
Okay, so yeah, tell me more. How was that like? Like 8 cities.
8 cities.
How did that come about? You know,
They
like
really-
going on tour.
They reached out to me. It was Love and Hip Hop, and they reached out to me on Instagram. It was like, yo, we love what you're doing, your music, your style.
Mhm.
We want to, include you on our tour. So it started in New York.
Yeah.
We met in New York.
Wow.
Got into the van. The van was dope, though. It had an Xbox and everything in it. So
Nice.
if I'm not sleeping, I'm in the back playing Xbox. So we had a bunch of different upcoming artists as well.
Yeah.
So we got to connect with them. So it was a great experience. And then being on stage with like BBOD, because they were popping at the time. I don't know if you guys know
Can
who
you sing?
BBOD.
Can you sing a song?
Can I sing a song?
Yeah.
have a few.
Costs money.
right.
It's like costs money for
Costs
that.
money. Just go check them out. BBOD.
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 Okay. So that
And
that's,
Troy Ave. Troy Ave. You guys probably
Yeah.
look him up too if you
Okay.
don't know who that is.
I'm gonna look them up.
You're like,
Well, see, I pay respects to it because I know I'm new to the world
yeah.
of that. So I'll student. I'll learn all
Yeah,
about
learn
that.
it. Learn about it.
So that was your best experience, though.
I think out
As-
of my career,
Yeah.
besides working with Mike Jones, because I used to, you know, look up to him
Mike
as a
Jones.
kid. So I'm like, I used to watch him on TV, and now I'm like sitting with him. We're in a music video together where it's chilling. He asked me to smoke. I don't smoke, but you want to
Yeah,
smoke?
yeah.
No, I'm good. But who thought? Who?
But you
would've
just
thought?
remember a moment like that.
Yeah, that's that's highlight. That's one highlight of my
Wow.
career so far.
And that was a link up as well through
Um,
social media or
My manager, I had a manager in
Manager.
Hawaii. I heard he was coming down, and then he connected with him, his management, and then they heard the song because I already had the Hold Up song ready.
yeah.
And I was just like, who should I put on this? And I'm like, I could actually hear Mike Jones on this. So he sent it to Mike Jones. Mike loved it. He agreed to do both, the video and the track. He said he was going to come down here for a show, and then boom, he's like, I'll do the video with her as well. So it was great.
Damn. So it's like, how did that feel? You were.
It's
Was that
like,
like
is
your
this
first?
real?
Was that like your first choice? Like your first option? You're like, Mike Jones for sure. on
Mike
this track.
Jones. Well,
Okay.
it kind of just came together. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna put Mike
Okay,
Jones on it.
okay.
I was like, I heard he was coming down, so I was like,
It's like shoot.
and then
my
I was
shot,
listening to the
let's
song, like I could hear Mike Jones on this. Like,
get it.
you know, he was one of my favorite artists growing up too. So I was like,
Yeah. Wow.
why not? Let's try it. See if.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
You guys did it live together, yeah?
We haven't
No?
did it live.
Okay.
No, not yet. But stay tuned.
Wow.
Stay
Yeah,
tuned.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I seen an announcement. Okay, I seen an
Yeah.
announcement on social
Stay
media.
tuned. Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna speculate. I know you just leave us speculate for a little bit, but that's how you get people to tune in.
Yeah.
I know you know that. You
Stay-
know,
Yep.
you know how to attract the crowd
You
and
gotta
stuff.
stay. Yeah.
That's exactly
Gotta
what you do.
stay tuned in.
Yeah.
to-
Well, okay. Well, that's great to know that was like those are your
That-
two
yeah.
highlights. So if you were to give a top three, so if I were to give you one more for you to name, like top three highlights of your career, which is hard, but because it comes with experiences and like,
Right.
feelings when you're in those things. But like, because I kind of have my own list of like how my top three stuff in my dance career.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like would there be like one more?
Well, I appreciate all of them, but I guess I would
Yeah.
say my Sean as well, because I grew up listening to him as well, and it's like all of them just weirdly come around. Like, and I'm just like, whoa! Like, I listen to him. Like, a lot of people don't even know who he was, but I'm like, I did. So I was like, just so happens the producer, when I started doing my music, he helped bring him up, and I was like, what? You?
Wow.
Like, that's crazy. That's ironic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Worlds
like,
are connected.
what can I do do you think we can link up? Like, how can I talk to him? I listened to him growing up. He's like, yeah, I can get you connected. Boom. He heard the song I wanted him on. He was like, yeah, let's get it. So he did the song. He was in Atlanta at the time. And then I flew out to Atlanta probably like 2 years later to do the video. And
I heard
made
it's
it
a
come
it's a
together.
big scene in ATL.
I love it. I love the vibe out there. But it is kind of congested. I like
Yeah.
being away from all that. But I love the vibe.
Yeah.
It's a good place for music. It's definitely
Dancing too.
dancing. Yeah, all
definitely.
types of.
Sean Bankhead came from.
Oh yeah, he
that
came from.
area.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he's choreographed for a lot of artists, but I know that's one of the bigger names is Sean Bankhead.
Sean Bankhead.
Yeah,
Is that one of your idols?
I used to watch him a lot. Yeah, so when I first started choreographing, he was one of the people I used to watch, and he just came with so much like character and so much confidence, and I wanted to be that as well. So
There you
yeah, so
go.
look at that.
Sheesh.
Top 3 moments.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. It's funny because I actually had this like in my head all the time, just because I've had this question before.
Right.
Like, what are your top 3 moments? And so, I would say first would be the Latin Grammy Awards in
Oh, that was dope.
2018.
I
You
remember
remember
that.
that?
I remember that one. That was dope.
Yeah. So that one was honestly that was a direct booking, meaning we didn't go through an audition process. Shout out to Vanjie. Wow. Shout out. Did you meet Vanjie? Did we go to Culture Shock Studio yet?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I don't know why I thought I brought you there.
It's
But yeah.
because it's gonna manifest.
Yeah, it's gonna happen anyways. It's supposed to happen.
Right.
But yeah, that show, man, it was a direct booking, and we just had like, I can't remember. I forget. We just had like our rehearsal at the venue the day before, and that was it. We met like the cast, like we were put in a group chat and everything, but that one was amazing. Like at 2018 in November. At first, it was just Nicky Jam. That's all we knew.
Yeah,
was that
Nicky,
we were.
He's big.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
but that's
Did
all
he
we
just
knew.
do something with Will Smith too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did.
That's legendary.
Yeah, and Will Smith was actually there at the
He was
event as
there
well.
too?
Yeah,
Did
he
you
was.
Meet him.
I did. I did meet him. He was super hype. I don't know. Maybe he was like just having the time of his life. Maybe he had a drink.
5-hour energy.
He had a 5-hour energy, and he was hype. Like he was just having a good time. We're like, Will, because we saw him backstage too, and he looked at us. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? Who y'all with? Nikki, and okay, cool, dope, and that was it. He was already walking. It was just like passed by.
That's still
But
dope.
he was super hyped, and he was just having a lot of fun, man. And so we knew we were dancing for Nikki, and Steve Aoki's name dropped, and we're like, okay,
Him
oh
too.
yeah, the song that they had, Steve Aoki and Nicky Jam, were like, oh, that song, okay, so we're gonna be, dancing, and it was more of like a stage, like accessory movement kind of ordeal, opposed to like straight up choreography.
Right.
It was more of like a stage effects kind of thing.
Right.
For the artist, because it was a big stage and they use it. So it's the Grammy, so they're using different stages, right? So we were on this platform over here, so they would have to coordinate it to make it like effects
Right.
wise and coordinate it with us. So then it was those two names, and then we found out J Balvin's doing something like opener with Nicky Jam. So like
That's dope.
yeah, so we're like, oh my God, all three of these artists, that we're dancing for, we didn't even know. We didn't even know we were doing that until like almost at that time. All we knew was Nicky Jam, and at that time I didn't even know who he was. I was like, I told one of my friends, because I was still in respiratory school, so I told her, I said, yeah, I'm gonna be in the Latin Grammy Awards. She's like, oh, get me tickets, this and that. She's like, who are you dancing for? I was like, it's this guy named like Nicky Jam.
She's like, what?
Yeah, she was like, what? Because she's super into the reggae scene, reggaeton and all that. And
I knew who he
just that whole
was too.
scene.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, so I told her, she was like, he's a big name. Like, he's a huge name. You don't know who he is? I'm like, I don't know who that is. So I looked him up. I'm like,
Wow.
dude. I'm like, Nicky Jam is like, yeah, he's the big deal.
Right.
And of course, I knew J Balvin already. I knew Steve Aoki.
Yeah.
So
Steven. Yeah, he's big out here.
yeah, so at
Steve.
that point I was like, okay, yeah, we're going. Like, this is gonna be awesome. So that was the big moment for me. And then I got to see myself on TV like 2 hours later. So it's not like live television, but 2 hours later I was able to see us on TV. And
I'm like, well, still, who
Yeah.
can say they got to partake in
Crazy,
something like
right?
that?
Yeah.
That's definitely a top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then so that happened. Another moment for me is when I was in the Philippines. I taught to a team called Mastermind. They're called Mastermind, and they're my friend over here. Chevin, the dancer. Anyways,
I think I do.
yeah, we usually hang out. Like, he introduced me to his crew, and then so I went out over there to the Philippines. I taught them a number. It was to an Usher song called "You Decide," and that was like, I taught them in an hour and a half. They didn't know who I was. There wasn't really like a language barrier because they could speak English. One of them could speak English really well, and I had words that I could chain up in Tagalog, because I can still I can't have like a full-on podcast like in Tagalog, but I have like all my connecting words, and if I got lost in the Philippines, I could get around, with what I know, because that was actually my first language.
Filipino.
Yeah, Tagalog was actually my first language. I was born in Chicago, but then I was raised in the Philippines for about 4 years, and then I came back to Chicago, so I was already speaking Tagalog, and then I reverted back to English.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that was just life-changing, because you're in another country and you see these guys, they're so appreciative of, a smile. Like, what brings a smile to their face wouldn't bring a smile to like people here per se.
Right.
I bought them all bottles of water, and they were like ecstatic.
What?
They were like, "Oh, thank you, Kuya," and they say kuya
Wow.
in respects, you know. So like, thank you, kuya, and like they were just so happy just to be there dancing. We danced on a basketball court. We danced on a basketball
I
court.
think
It
I remember
was
seeing it in your story.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
super hot outside, but they were just there for the love of it, and it really changed my perspective. And so that's
Yeah.
why I keep that as one of my moments because it was very life changing.
Yeah.
Like wow,
To
what
see how other
yeah.
countries live.
and they did it so well, and they didn't even know like my dance style or anything. Like they had no idea what it was, like what to do. But they did 100%, and they went in. They went in, you know. And third, I'd probably say this one's a little bit more. This one was a little bit more just kind of fun, I guess. But we shot like a Walmart ad. It's on Walmart's YouTube for Christmas
Really?
for Christmas time, and that was just a little fun one. We shot it in Arkansas, and it's just
That's
you
so
know
big. It's Walmart.
right. Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's big, and it's on their YouTube and stuff. It has a couple thousand views. It's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. But it was the reason why I laugh at that is because the whole weekend, like the crew that I was with, we were just singing Christmas songs because it was stuck in our head. We were just rehearsing this Christmas routine, and it was just in our heads the whole time, and we kept singing it again and again and again. And I'm like, you guys, stop it! Like it's in our heads, but you just catch one of us like singing this Christmas tune, and we're like, but it was fun. It was fun. It was cool to see that and like the production because we were working with singers, and they were more like theater trained. They were like theater kids,
Right.
or they are theater kids. So we were working with that, like a cappella kind of group. So something you'd see in like what was it like a Glee or
Like a musical?
yeah, something like that. So we would have to work with them, and then they would like. There was a good respect, like a respectable line too. Like they'd be like, "Oh yeah, give the dancers space and this and that," and they were complimenting us. They're like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." They would watch us bust down, but then we would see them bust down in like an a cappella circle. Like one was like beatboxing, the other one was like singing, the other one was like like giving some humming, and it's like
Dang.
that's how they get down. And that was just like the craziest like. That was a crazy thing to see because it's like, okay, as much as they see us get down and compliment us and we feel all cool and fire, they're going off
But
too.
it's
And we're
like,
like,
yo,
dang,
dang,
yeah. And see,
yeah.
again, that's just another like big like chain of artists, but it's just, it's
Dope.
similar, but it's different,
Yeah.
you know? But we all come together on a platform to make something
Exactly. Bigger than us. And that's
Bigger.
exactly
Facts.
what this is all about.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, so I gave this platform for artists to speak, and
That's dope. I love what
Yeah,
you're
man.
doing, bro.
but yeah, so
For the cause.
yeah, so cool, man. Thank you for coming out. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Let's
I think
get
we
down
had a
on the mic.
great conversation
Yeah.
and hit a lot of different things spiritually, deeper than the surface.
Yeah, we'll keep continuing episodes, and we'll get more and more and more, and have guests come back and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Sheesh.
definitely appreciate it.
Much love, bro. Chee. Was that an hour?
I kept looking at my